everyone and welcome back to my channel. It is currently 8:38 on the island of Hawaii and I really hope I know where I'm going with this video because honestly, at first I wanted to talk about my childhood stories, but in reality I don't really remember much about my childhood except that I danced hula. And I honestly love dancing hula because it's a way of telling a story with your body. You're telling history, you're telling prophecy, you're telling about the gods of Hawaii, and it's just really moving and empowering once you start dancing it and practicing it properly. And honestly, it's a workout. I'm not kidding. People who say that hula is not a sport, try doing back bends. Do 10 back bends for 3 sets. I dare you. I dare you. It's hard. I can barely do a back bend, but it's still fun. So actually, I danced hula from kindergarten all the way up to 4th grade. I took a break between 5th and halfway through 7th grade, and then I started going to a different halau, which means hula school, halfway through my 7th grade year, and then stopped when I graduated high school. It was honestly really fun to dance hula. It's so empowering, so cultural. I really felt connected to the island's history, and it's honestly really fun. So what I'm gonna do for this video is talk about some of the implements that they use, or imps as I like to say. Without further ado, let's get this started. These are puili sticks. These are bamboo sticks. So, you ever wondered what good puili sticks are? These are it. These are really good puili sticks to use. But puili sticks are actually pieces of dried bamboo are cut into strips. These right here are the strips, leaving room for a handle to create a distinctive rattling sound when you hit it. Puilis are always used in pairs, and dancers tap them against one another or on their shoulders, arms, and the floor. So that is actually pretty fun to use. I honestly love using puili sticks because they're really fun to use, and honestly, you can whack someone with it if you really wanted to. Yeah, but I never whacked anyone with my puili sticks because I didn't want them to break, and honestly, these are still in pretty good condition. I don't want to break these. These are actually really fun, and I love them. So, this is an ipu. And from my phone, it says, because I want to make sure I get this correctly, an ipu is used by dancers, musicians, and chanters. It's the most common hula implement, and these calabash gourds are dried and empty and then sanded inside and out before a final braided wrist strap is added. Musicians typically use an ipoheke, a double gourd, as an accompaniment to a hula performance, while dancers often use a single smaller gourd called an ipoheke ole. So these are actually really fun to use. The reason why we have strap though is because in case we're dancing with it, it might fly out of our hands. So yeah, we have this, and it sounds like this. It sounds really fun, and it's really fun to hit. The next implements are the uli-ulis. These are called uli-ulis, and uli-ulis are actually one of the most beautiful Hawaiian instruments. Small gourds are filled with shells, seeds, or pebbles to create a rattle, and then are decorated with kapa, traditional cloth, and adorned with colorful feathers, usually red and yellow, the colors of Hawaiian royalty. Now, honestly, I love dancing with uli-ulis because they sound like maracas, and they're actually really loud. They're fun to use. So I remember dancing with these. These are actually really common to use. There's a lot of dances that revolve around the uli-ulis, and you can either dance with one of them or both of them. But they usually come in pairs because majority of the time you would be dancing with both uli-ulis. But in 4th grade, I only had to dance with one uli-uli. And honestly, uli ulis do come in a bunch of colors. I do have these white ones. These white ones are from my recent halau. Well, old/recent, since I stopped dancing hula. But these are from Namaka Puili Aloha. Namaka Opu'i Aloha. That's how you actually pronounce it. And I'm wearing the shirt now and had to look down just to make sure I said it correctly. But this is from Namaka, and they tell us to use white uli ulis for their performances. And honestly, I prefer the traditional Hawaiian royal red and yellow feathered uli ulis because one, it's lighter than these ones. And second of all, I kind of like the colors more than just plain white. I'm just saying. Yeah, these are called ilis, smooth volcanic stones. If you can look at them. Yeah. I hate myself. Anyways, you'll use them like this. Okay, they'll be in your thumb and index finger, and then you have these 3 fingers holding it. But majority of the time, I would just use these 2 fingers, and they would make a clacking sound. I remember struggling using these because you have to make a clacking sound, and sometimes I wouldn't be able to make a clacking sound. But actually, ilis, smooth volcanic stones from the river, are used by hula dancers in a fashion similar to castanets, typical of Spanish flamingo dancers. You know that. Using ili takes quite a bit of practice, since unlike castanets, there is nothing attached to the rocks to one another or the hand, therefore they can easily slip. Like I said, I struggled with using ilis because they would always slip out of my hands and they would never actually make the clicking sound. And my teacher would honestly tell me, you're not hitting it correctly. This is another one of the implements I struggled using. Another implement I used, kala'au, is sticks. These sticks are another common hula implement that we dancers use. So these simple wooden sticks help to coordinate dancers and chanters by producing a dry clicking sound. Hula dancers will have 2 identical hardwood sticks, one in each hand, and hit them together or on the floor while sitting, kneeling, or standing. Majority of the time, when I use these, I was always sitting. And it's actually really, really fun to use these. But I honestly mostly loved the puili sticks in my personal opinion because it was loud. It was actually really fun to use these. I would honestly, I don't know why they slipped out, but I would always put them in this bag so they would never ever be apart from each other. I'd always put them in this bag. It slipped out. But all those instruments, all 5 of those instruments, I used all of them in my 4th grade dance, and it was really, really fun, but also really, really hard because you have to keep up with the tempo. And honestly, it was just a lot. It was so much. But there was one implement that I did not use, but I used it for fun, and they are called poi balls. Poi balls are actually really, really fun to use, and honestly, they have a really interesting history about them, but I will give you a short version of what they were originally used for. Poi is Maori. Really hope I pronounced that right. Poi is a Maori word meaning ball on a string. Maori warriors originally used poi as a form of exercise to train for battle or hunting. By swinging the heavy balls, they developed the wrist strength and flexibility to handle various weapons and tools. Eventually, poi was used as a form of storytelling and dance. I honestly remember using poi balls and getting smacked with them like crazy. I honestly really sucked at poi balls when I was a kid, but eventually in 4th grade I actually mastered it, sort of, in a way. I mastered all the practice moves, but then 5th grade happened and I switched schools. I never continued using poi balls after that. I missed using poi balls, but then, yeah. And I think there's one more implement that, yeah. I remember using these. Do I remember the names of these? No, I do not. But I remember using these. These were so freaking hard to use. And I did not buy these from the store. My dad had to make them. My dad made these himself. And I have to say, he did a pretty good job. I'm not gonna lie. I forgot what these are called, but I remember using these. We were in four groups, four people. 4 people in each group. And we had to toss it to the person on the other side of us. And then we would have to toss it to the person next to us, and then toss it again to the person across. It was such a hard dance for me to do because I can't catch. It kept hitting me in the face, it kept hitting me in the arm. I kept dropping it, and honestly, my teacher, even though she was really tough on me, she laughed in my face every time. But I worked pretty hard, made sure I got where I wanted to be. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope that I was able to educate you guys about hula imps and the hula culture, or hula dance. I'm really tired, and I'm really hungry. If you stayed to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end, and comment down below puppy, because I love puppies. And you don't have to, but if you want to, please give me a like and subscribe to my channel if you really like it, and click on the notification bell every time so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. So yeah,